I've very quickly mocked up a not accurate bolt, but hopefully you can kind of understand what is going on there. We're going to be looking at the external thread tool, which is found just up here. So we click on it and it asks us for our cylinder edges. So the cylinder edge for this is going to be this base part here. And you can see it immediately gives us this kind of fake looking thread. The reason it's not the real thread is because computationally that's going to take up a lot of power, and on the cloud we want to kind of try and reduce that as much as we can. Got different standards, so ISO and ANSI depending on what part of the world you're in, and it knows it's an M8 thread because I made this hole up here 8mm, and this one is I think 12 or 14mm. The pitch we can change, so the greater the pitch, obviously the further apart each of the top bits of the thread are, so the peaks and the troughs. So let's make it 1.25, that's absolutely fine, and it's going blind at the moment, which is cool. But we don't want it to be all the way. Let's say we want it to be 30mm along and have a little shoulder on our thread. We can also add a chamfer, so at the bottom, that's going to be important. You don't want it to be a perfectly flat surface because in terms of trying to add the bolt into an already pre-tapped hole, it's going to make it a little bit easier if you've got that angle there. And you could also add an undercut. So if you're making this part on a CNC machine, you might want a small undercut. You might want a small undercut in order to basically allow the machine to not damage part of your product depending on what it is. Okay, so you can obviously change that depending on what you want it to do. Let's go slightly larger than that. Let's go 6.8 as if we get away with it. 6.5 will do. Okay, so that is really simple. There is your external thread for any part that you want to make that is going to have a thread on it.